Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're back with Smoke and Steel season number 3. We're kicking it off between the 10th Tennessee and the 59th New York. So they did a coin flip to determine the maps. 10th Tennessee won the coin flip. They picked the first map, which was Colquitt's Defense. The 59th New York then picked the Union side. And then for our second round today is Wagon Road. 59th, because they didn't choose the first map, got to choose the second map. They picked Wagon Road. 10th Tennessee picked CSA. Why wouldn't they? And the 59th then has to play Union. Before we get into this, though, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So here are the current standings as is. So we have 2 divisions. The top 4 in each division will make the playoffs, and then the seeds 1 and 4 will play each other 2 and 3 until we get to the final 2, the winners of each division, and they'll play in the finals. Something to note, the point system for this season is different. If you win a round while you are the leading regiment, you get 4 points. If you are an assisting regiment, a non-leading regiment, and you win, you get 2 points. If you're a non-leading regiment and your side goes 2-0, you get an additional bonus point on top of the assisted winning points that you get. And lastly, if you are a non-leading regiment, if you lose, you still get a point. The leading regiment, though, does not get any points on that part. So that's a brief explanation. You can see a lot more information on this page. But our regiments for tonight on the 10th Tennessee side, you have the Missouri State Guard, Colquitt's Brigade, 2 Corps, Jackson's Division, Alabama Volunteer Corps, 51st Alabama, and the 7th Texas. Whereas on the 59th New York side, you have the 12th Virginia, 10th United States Corn Brigade, the Kentucky Outlaws, Free States Brigade, and the Shenandoah Regular. Server pop, as of right now, it's currently 318. CSA up by 2 right now. Artillery-wise, Union has 5, CSA has 5 as well, so our infantry in balance is 1 in favor of the CSA side. One number, it's very huge. And our frontline reporters to show you what's going on the battlefield on the Union side. You got the Red from the 59th New York. They got Pixelated Apollo in their line tonight, so it's nice to see him back playing some more of rights. And then on the other side, we got Archer from the 6th Louisiana. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what is going on in the sky. And back at it again, we have Corded as a co-commentator tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Corded, part of 6th Louisiana, which is part of 2nd Corps, and I am glad to be back.
Heck yeah. So, Union's just gung-hoing it. They went down the road for their main spawn, and they're just going straight to the point. 59th trying to get aggressive here. Corded, you got any thoughts on Colquitt's defense as this kind of plays out?
Well, Union doesn't typically go straight across the point. They'll either hit one side of the map or the other, or sometimes they'll go toward the middle and then fake out, go left or something like that. I haven't seen them go straight across. DSA will typically stay in the woods for the most part. Try and keep Union out of it, because when Union is outside of the woods, that's the best opportunity for CSA artillery to actually have an effect.
Indeed. And yeah, this was kind of surprising. Union kind of in 2 waves, TKO and 30th Ohio's in the woods. It looks like 8th Ohio balanced over to CSA. Because normally 30th and 8th are together, but they're not. But CSA's kind of split up into 2 right now. The whole CSA team collapsing down on this center, and Union's kind of going to get pitched here. FSB and some 59 sticking out, 12th BA as well. Now they're charging in the woods for Union. Meanwhile, CSA on the south side are trying to get back to their friendlies and not lose a flag.
Union is in danger of losing 1 flag already. The other one that's down is close to friendlies, though. We've got a chance to get them back.
I would not have This is a heck of a start here. 10th Tennessee, they were able to get back onto their side. A lot of CSA forces moving through the open now. JD and 2 Corps going through that right now.
Do me a favor. Go this way.
Is that flag going to run to our friendlies or away?
How's it not dead?
Oh, he hesitated.
And it's dead.
Yeah.
So, Union has a foothold, though, in the woods. They've got 2 CSA flags right now, though, so if they can hold the CSA push, this push is going to decide, at least the beginning of the round here. And they're kind of sweeping through. Union up on the top, not really moving down to help. Mix of 12th VA and 10th US. I don't know if they just didn't know or... CSA should be able to take this.
Hey, have you
Looks like FSB might be getting a flag ready to run out of bounds. I think that's what they're doing.
That flag's running away! Flag's running away!
And that's a good idea there. For those of you who don't know, if a flag is down inbounds, it's a 5-minute despawn timer. So it sits for 5 minutes, despawns, and then someone can respawn in with it. But if the flag is lost out of bounds, that is a 20-second despawn time. So I like what Pookie's doing. You know, he's still out of bounds, so if he dies, the flag's out of bounds, but he's still trying to run it back to his friendly. So not necessarily a bad idea there.
Yeah, the people in there probably shouldn't be trying to pick it up, because it can't go back in bounds pretty soon. That flag's back in bounds.
Also, too, right? If you pick it back up, yeah, Aloof got it. But if you pick it back up, and that you prevent that flag from being respawned with the rest of the Union team. However, it looks like the rest of the Union team's returning to this position. I will say that flag did get back out, and Union's able to retrieve it in the end. So.
Well, there is one flag that is going to stay down for a while. Looks like it's FSB and TKO's flag.
So, yeah. Something I normally would mention at the beginning of the round, but Colquitt's defense, it is a 21% ticket advance to the attacking Union side. It was 26 before the recent update. They gave 5% more tickets to the defenders, which is a fine change in my opinion. Also, the weapons on this map, Union, they have the 2nd Wisconsin with the Lorenz or the Springfield 61, and they have the 19th Indiana with the Springfield 61. Meanwhile, CSA side, on the other hand, they have the 13th Alabama with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55, and the 6th Georgia Regiment has the same options as well. So, no buck and ball here. And that initial push, the Union's slightly down on tickets right now. And so, I mean, overall, it's a good assault by Union, in my opinion. I mean, you lost a flag, which does suck, but you brought everyone's tickets down a fair amount pretty early on in the round, and the more you get everyone's tickets down, the less stress it can be for an attacker, especially considering the limited time in the game. Might feel like a lot, but it's not always the case.
Up and over.
So they're going in again.
Up and over. I don't need my bayonet discharged.
You have 2nd Corps kind of popping out on top, trying to get some shots down on them, and Union going right into it as they pop out.
The few times I've seen CSA hold the defensive line in the wood like this, it can be very difficult for the Union to actually break through. Of course, we'll see what happens here. 30th Ohio's going in first, TKO with them.
It's like the plan for CSA might be to wrap around like 2nd Corps and JD did the first time. So I think JD and 7th Texas, MSG, pretty much everyone that was on top of the hill, except for Corps Brigade and Colquitt, is heading down.
And they're trying to cut off flags.
They did keep 3 of their flags back, Union did. So
that's a little surprising there.
Yes, the only flag that's down is the one that was already down for Union.
I guess Union was just trying to... Generally, when people don't bring up their flags, I like to think that they're just trying to charge in to deal damage, because especially with 5-second respawns on a flag, when you have 3 to 4 flags spawning in 4 dudes every 5 seconds in total, it's very difficult to actually take ground without your flags, especially when a defender is strongly holding that spot. So it looks like Union just tried to charge in, deal some damage. Union does drop to engage, but CSA is shortly to follow. And I mean, as an attacker, right, you want to keep the tickets even. You can be down up to a 4th of a morale stage and still feel fine if you're an attacker. If it starts to get to a 3rd to a half morale stage, it's generally starting to get concerned, but Union's not even close to that right now. So I think it's a good start by Union so far.
Yeah. You do also have 50A out in the field, just behind the Union, taking shots down on them. And 3rd California has been harassing CSA artillery quite well. I haven't heard those guns go off in a long time. And CSA artillery is missing a lot of opportunities to this, because the Union is one of the only places that CSA would ever have lined up before the match, where they kind of would expect Union to be I guess, stopped in an open field.
Right.
He's right on that fence.
It's interesting too. I'm looking at the CSA battery. One of the guns is faced towards those now 4 skirmishers there, the SR and 3rd California guys, and then one of them is looking towards either counter battery or them. Yeah, they have no guns facing down, and I agree. This is a huge missed opportunity for CSA. You heard it here first. The commentators want Artie. Never before heard.
Wow, that's not true. We've always wanted Artie.
Yes, brother.
That's true. That's true.
Is this the real deal?
So Union's getting back into the shootout again. CSA holding their spots. Union's going to force CSA into engaged within a moment or so.
Let's go.
I wonder if Union's going to do the same thing. That 4th flag that was down for the Union has despawned, so Union should have all 4 flags. Question is, when they push forward next, are they going to actually bring them forward? I'm guessing not, based on the first time. 12th VA is going around to the southwest side, maybe trying to get a flank here. Meanwhile, some Union are shifting further down to the north, just spreading themselves out. I mean, they're really uncontested from the CSA Artie, so it's very kind of surprising to see.
I think what 12th VA is trying to do is pull the CSA into one spot, try to prevent CSA from doing that. Well, it's that swing lock door motion that half the CSA has been doing on the backside of the Union.
Yeah, 12th VA getting shot up, though, by 6LA. 30th Ohio is now approaching him, and here comes a lot more of the Union team. Union gets it looked like a good Artie shot. CSA swinging down like a door again. It almost feels like I'm watching Otto and Sherrick.
Yes, it is. I mean, Union is sending a couple flags in. They're about to send their last one, I think. Right, as 5th VA going to come down from that hill, all 5 of them.
Big numbers here. JD swinging down like a door.
Yeah, it could happen.
It could.
All they got to do is stick down a flag, and they got a pistol too.
And CSA is going to win a charge here in the woods. Wow. And now Union's down by half morale stage. You know... Yeah, I was... Yeah, sorry.
Oh. I got the flag down. I don't think they're going to be able to keep it down for long unless the rest of the CSA comes to help them.
Union's down 1 flag in the woods right now, though. Wow. You know, I just remembered the Colquitt's defense from the end of last season. That was actually a close match. That was you and Corn Brigade, right? Man. This is... Sorry. I forgot for a moment. Oh, boy. But this is... It's a lot more lopsided than that. My goodness.
We're going to change a strategy for the Union.
They're going up right.
That's right. 10th U.S. Brigade. 59th.
CSA is shifting up the force. I don't know if they're moving just cuz or because they see this. I almost wonder... The thing is, though, Union's got 2 flags down on the bottom of the hill right now. 1 flag's down in the woods. So, I mean, Union's moving a fair amount of guys this way. However, they only got 1 flag.
Yeah. I think the strategy might be just to stretch out the CSA as much as they can. Maybe defeat in detail. I don't know.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, CSA got to make a mistake or so, and Union can, you know, bring this back.
Yeah. They're going to try.
Maybe CSA will just all F9 or F9, and then Union will gain a bunch of tickets there or whatever. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time for CSA infantry to help out the artillery.
What, the 5 CSA dudes on artillery?
Yeah, well, since Union's already coming this direction, You're gonna have to send some guys this way
True.
eventually.
I shot Agrippa. I don't think that's the real Agrippa. He killed Provost. Rip Provost. Artie legend. And Agrippa gets another Artie guy. Oh my goodness, and the second Agrippa shows up. And then you have Lorenzo. Oh my goodness. Mao is trying to hide. What is going on?
Lots of Union crossing the field. This would be a great time for artillery.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Yeah, 5th VA is up there first. Looks like you got 8th Ohio behind as well. 6 LA next to go up. Union already gets a good shot on 7th Texas guys and JD who are trying to get up, but Union's going to be able to get a force up here. My only concern for them, right, is that one flag. However, is it going to be a distractionary force? Union doesn't have a whole lot of guys by the woods where they have 2 of their flags. A lot of the Union are just moving out of their main spawn and going up. You know, I can at least appreciate the attempt from this, just because, you know, you've tried something and it hasn't really worked, obviously with the ticket amount, and now Union's going to try something new. The question is, how long can it last? I don't know.
Right, got one guy on the cannon. About to hit this big group of Union on the rocks. I think he might overshoot it. Yeah, he did good.
Are we all?
He did fine.
You heard it here. Put 20 on him. Put 20 on Artie. So,
oh, we're putting 20 on artillery right now.
Yeah, right now. Right
goes
now.
in there.
See, then CSA, all those artillerymen can just keep spawning on the guns and charge in, and eventually you'll force Union out, right? Who cares for tickets? Yeah, 8th Ohio, 2 core guys are up on the guns. The rest of the CSA kind of set up in a long, strung out line. You do have some CSA still holding down on the wood lines. Not a bad idea, obviously, to keep that one Union flag down, but Union still has a force here. Actually, it looks like Union took those flags out, and one of them is currently up by the White House. You do have some CSA, though. The 51st Alabama gonna shoot the 30th Ohio guys. And the whole Union team is nearly up here. I think they have 2 flags up. Yeah, they have 2 flags up here.
There's still one down at the bottom.
Yeah, there's one.
Takes me a little to fly over there.
Yeah, there's one by the White House, and then I don't know where that 4th one is. It's despawned by now.
Mm-hmm.
It might be down there. I don't know. I didn't see it, though. Union pushes up, getting the kind of a close shootout with the CSA on the Artie. FSB, 10th US, 12th VA, TKO. All get into a close little shootout here with the CSA. Tickets still haven't really changed a whole lot.
Wonderful to see Union already hit CSA. I think some of them are about to shoot. One's about to fire, I think. A second one, too.
Oh, they just missed.
Over there. Second one.
Second one.
He was primed.
Wow, Cord is lying to us. He rage bait.
Well, hold on. Last minute adjustments.
Yeah, CSA did move over 7. Texas is starting to get on the flank of that Union line there. You also got 10th Tennessee going completely behind this Union push. 59th is there trying to stop it. And I mean, CSA...
Body shot. Ooh, right in the middle of the CSA. Nice.
I saw it through a tree.
Oh.
So, 59th is going to hold that 10th Tennessee push. CSA, really, it seems like CSA's game plan tonight has been, you know, just kind of surround the Union, collapse in, which Union needs to punch out on one of those sides. I almost wonder if Union pushes to the woods again, if, you know how CSA does kind of that end around down the road and hits behind the Union? I wonder if Union does a fake into the woods, immediately runs out of the woods and charges that CSA group that tries to, you know, hit him in the rear.
Yeah.
That'd be... I don't know how well it would actually work, but... You know, if you can defeat the CSA detail when they kind of spread themselves out like they are, it's worth a shot. So Union, for the most part, backs off the hill. 10th US still holding up top. A couple 12th VA guys are dying in glory up on the top. But the rest of the Union team has dive-bombed, running through the point, trying to get in the woods. Some CSA is here, though, to stop that. CQB.
Union should have enough people to establish in the woods. Unless CSA is able to kind of come down on them quick enough.
Which it looks like Union should have plenty of time. CSA is kind of slow moving down on the top of this hill. I mean, 10th US and 12th VA, they really kept CSA up there even though they kind of died. They kept CSA up there a little longer, and that let the rest of the Union team get into this woods and maybe get a CSA flag here. Soares with the flag for CSA in the woods. He just needs to run out of bounds.
It's a whole other company.
AVC's running in, though, trying to help.
On your team, dude. Come here.
Soares is not falling for the tricks.
Nope. Hey, good flag discipline. Although I think he should have ran it out of bounds, but I get he's trying to run it to friendlies. Get stabbed once.
Hard to know what to do.
Oh, now he turns around.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
He was probably out of stamina at that
Jam
point.
Jam died. That's true.
Yeah, not much you can do.
You know, it was a good attempt. CSA now starting to move down from the top of the hill. Union's in taking losses. CSA shortly to follow. 6LA is furthest to the east of the CSA line. You also got JD, MSG kind of in the center. And then in the woods for CSA, you got 8th Ohio, 7th Texas. Just them. Interestingly, you do have a Union group in between the White House and Union Arty. 12th VA. They're just popping shots at 6LA. Kind of surprising to see out there.
What I think 12th VA is able to do here is they're able to keep at least some CSA on this northeastern side, preventing them from getting more numbers on their friendlies in the woods.
Hey, the question is, though, is CSA actually going to hold them? They just don't care.
No, they're not. They're just going to leave.
Smartly as well. 12th VA is just not an area that, unfortunately, doesn't matter. It's a good attempt, but...
I think 5th VA is going to be the last people over here to stay.
Mini charging here. TKO FSB getting in it with 7th Texas and 8th Ohio. 30th Ohio's showing up for Union as well.
Can't have mini charges. Those are not good.
It's like a... Sorry, not a mini charge. It's just everyone's getting up and close on this rock and just shooting each other point blank. No one's... And there goes CSA, taking losses. But, you know, maybe Union pushing up obviously was just a ploy to try to get in the woods. It was successful. 12th VA is now starting to shift over back into the wood line to assist their friendlies. Rest of the CSA are now starting to move in. JD, MSG are close, not there. And then you got 6LA starting to push up. I assume to this rock. CSA is heavily outnumbered right on this rock.
I do.
Union's just kind of concentrated their whole team here.
Fucking rocks.
Guys, be ready to break.
Pay to shoot, we don't get paid to complain.
Coming out of the walls, man! Keep fucking pouring it in it!
You might see a charge coming in from CSA. Hard to tell.
JD's... Oh.
Not everyone's going in at the same time. JD is taking the charge.
I love those. 12th VA is charging MSG out. Kind of, that's flanking the Union team. CSA, rest of them consolidate on the rock. Union, as of now, still down about a fourth to a third of a stage. CSA hasn't started dropping through, taking losses yet, so it could still very much be a third to a half morale stage difference right now, which Union needs to close up the gap. But normally the force fighting helps Union out here.
Our tickets got evaporated. We're like half tickets.
Union might accidentally take the point. Never mind.
Early cap wouldn't be bad, I don't think. I mean, it would just slightly give them a little more time. It's not like CSA would regain any tickets. It's not needed, though. I do agree on that.
Yeah. He says doing alright, just
Union's not fired.
shooting at Union.
No shot. Pixelate Apollo, level 8, the man himself. If you post a video, I will link it in the description. You got some Unions shifting out to the east of that rock. 12th VA, they still kind of stuck over here. SR's with them, praise be. You know, probably the highest percentage of a regiment that has level 100 people.
Who is?
SR.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, hey, you don't have a lot of people, but they're all 100, so.
It's all statistics.
Be a heck of a recruiting method.
Just scrolling through. I think as far as the amount of level 100 people, I think 12VA has it.
Like just a raw
Maybe.
number.
Yeah, well,
That wouldn't surprise me.
that's 2 there for SR. 2? Wait.
Well, I would expect the pub regiments to have the most, because you know they actually play pubs.
Well, they have as much as SR. So
not
yeah,
to be perceived as a bad thing per se. It's just they play
if we
pubs.
put Lorenzo in 3rd California, which I think we do, them, SR, and 12VA they all have 2 people that are level 100. Yeah, it's a race now. Who wants to spend the most time in War of Rights?
I demand justice for spectator XP. It's
Put
got
as much time. We never die out of line.
never.
We're in a crossfire. We're taking fire from the north.
We don't even die as spectator.
Gentlemen, look
Not
at
anymore,
the northeast.
anyways.
There's a whole red line down there.
Unless you go out of bounds.
That's yeah, fair point.
Which I don't think there should be an upper limit to out of bounds, really. Or at least it should be higher than what it is.
Yeah, the out of bounds is kind of annoying at times. I mean, it's nice to see where the player's out of bounds is. However, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, on this map it's fine. It's pretty high up, but on some other ones like Harper's Ferry,
How far up can we
you
go?
can't really get much higher.
Oh my goodness, you're not kidding. That's up high. And we can see
Yeah,
the
'cause,
edge of the
like,
map from here.
If you're looking like Harper's Graveyard or something, you only get like 5 feet above the top of the hill, and you're done.
Yep. Union's shifted more of their guys to their right side. 12th VA is charging in now to 10th Tennessee. Some 6LA guys involved as well.
Union's lost a good bit of numbers in the woods. I don't know what happened.
I seemed like they kind of just...
PSA really shot them up.
Yeah, it looks like Union kind of pulled out a little bit of there as well, because it wasn't gaining Union tickets. Union's trying a lot of different things, and credit to the 59th for that, but they just aren't finding, something that'll actually work. Union hits breaking now, CSA now charging through, maybe trying to get some Union flags down. And, if this is how this round is going, I can't imagine how Wagon Road's going to go. If I remember that map correctly, that's heavily CSA biased, and the devs gave them more tickets.
Yeah.
So Union gets all 4 flags out, at least out of the wood line. 7th Texas, some JD guys are kind of starting to get into this Union line that's forming up on the outside.
I want to let him down.
Oh, guys, brace.
CSA looks a little confused.
Hey, everyone charge right.
Collapse right, collapse right.
Charge right, 30th, charge right, charge right.
Brace the right, brace the right.
So, regardless of the ticket difference, CSA, if they hit breaking, the Union can capture the point and win. Now, the point says it's in the center of the field. However, you can capture the point from the top of this hill here, where you have the 51st Alabama guys, some CQB guys as well, just kind of skirmishing there. And that's where you want to fight over the point, up on the top of that road there. You don't want to sit in the middle of the open field here, because 1, it's in the open field. 2, if there's CSA already, they can pound you, but the 3rd California guys and SR guys up there seem to have stopped that. And also, whoever controls the top of this road, right, if you're trying to capture from the open field and you got someone on the top of this road, they're just going to shoot into you, and they have cover with the stone wall, and you got nothing. You got a couple rocks, but that's not going to help much. So, I'm guessing, based on seeing that the ticket difference hasn't really changed a whole lot, I'm guessing Union's going to probably try to do some cap mechanics. Cap crap, maybe just try to cap it and win. And they're starting to move that way. Now, CSA kind of has the advantage because they have the wood line that they can use defensively. but also they can rush from the high ground to get down to the stone wall. So we'll see what happens. But Union's trying to go up to the top of the road right now. TKO, 30th Ohio in front.
Spread it out. Here they come. Here they come.
They can't cap if they are on, at least from where I'm looking on my screen. They can't cap on the left side of this half stone wall, so where the whole Union team's lining up, they're not capping. If they are on the other side, they would be capping, but obviously they want the cover there.
Just state of mind, they're not over there. They're not over there.
So I wonder if Union is waiting for CSA to breaking. If I were Union, I would at least keep, you know, 2-3 guys trying to early cap it. But maybe they don't want to draw CSA in and just let this thing naturally decay. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I'd get the cap close, and then just have people on and off of it, just to get CSA kind of panicked a little bit.
Which, I'm surprised CSA, they're kind of off the point a little bit. JD is running up the hill for I don't know what reason. Maybe they're trying to flank around, but that's not going to do you much good. You're putting yourself a little further away from the point. And Union, I don't know if intentional or not, 12th VA set themselves up. Kind of be a barrier for JD.
JD turning around, it looks like. Yep.
Oh, hey, Fuse. Little thing, Fuse. Hello, boys.
Yep.
Hey, how's it going?
I don't get that. Oh well. Union needs to put a couple guys on point here. JD running right back down.
That's northwest west.
Because if you're Union right now, you wanna be able to cap it as quickly as possible. And I'm surprised CSA hasn't tried to charge in yet, or at least get closer to the Union. They have a little bit of time. Union shifting down the hill a little bit to the left. CSA is kind of mimicking that as well.
And Union is capping right now. So
CSA breaking. Union just has
CSA's
to go up
gotta
and over the
start
wall. They are. Here comes CSA.
Here they come. Here they come. Braves.
If Union caps this, this is that would be sad for CSA. But here comes CSA collapsing in, attacking from the bottom for some reason. Thought they go from the top. They do have some groups heading that way.
yeah,
Union's
attacking
still
from all three sides.
Oh my! Union just needs a. Oh no way! Union takes this. No way! Union just needs to throw bodies on point right now. What is CSA doing?
Good shit. Hold. Keep going.
I don't know, but they don't have the bodies yet.
CSA played a perfect game, and they just threw it out the window the last second. What a win for 59th. One I was not necessarily expecting. Corded, your thoughts?
Well, they needed to flood that point with people, straight into the cap zone, not necessarily the Union forces. Because most of the Union team, all they got to do is just hop over a little stone wall, and then they're capping. And I don't know what happened to the post game. Mine just completely skipped it.
That happens with South Mountain. It just skips.
Oh my!
They just don't have it. So, yeah.
Well, anyway, Union won.
Yeah. CSA played such a good round. It is a shame they lost it how they did. It is such a shame. Anyways, with that all being said, we'll see you all shortly for round number 2. And here we are for our second round, Wagon Road. Server pop right now. It's currently 309. Union's up by 1 right now. Oh my goodness, it's changing. It's 5 now. Anyways, artillery-wise, CSA has 3. Union has 6. So our infantry balance is dead even right now, which is good to see on that front. So, Wagon Road. This has been a very, very biased map towards CSA, and that's exactly why the developers gave the CSA 7.5% more tickets on this map, because they really needed the help. And furthermore, as a reminder, since the 10th US won the coin toss, they got to pick the first map for the first round. 59th New York picked this map for round 2, and the 10th Tennessee, smartly in my opinion, picked the CSA side. So we'll see how it kind of plays out from here. Weapons on this map, Union attack, they have the 12th Ohio with the Lorenz or the Springfield 61, and they have 12th New York with the option of the Springfield 55 or the Springfield 42. So they got buck and ball shotguns. CSA, on the other hand, they have the 6th Georgia with the Enfield or the Springfield 55, and they also have the 6th Alabama with the option of the Enfield and the Lorenz. Anyways, Corded, in your opinion, how does each side want to play this round?
Well, CSA is going to want to hold back as usual, wait to see which side Union goes down. Safe bet that it's going to be through the corn, as it will be now. I think CSA should be able to see it. Yeah, I think maybe an arty guy or two should be able to see it. At least they'll be able to see that Union does not go down the right side from CSA perspective. Union, they should probably go through the corn, honestly. That's the most covered area approach, and from the corn you can go to whatever side of the map you want. We might see some more artillery gameplay from either side. We'll have to see how that goes. Looks like CSA has already positioned some cannons looking at the exit of the corn, and CSA putting a lot of people on this left side, a couple people in the center. That's where they're expecting Union to come from. So that is a smart thing to do. Looks like Union might be headed mostly to the corner of the corn, though, not necessarily close to the border of the map.
Yeah, this map, the reason why it's hard for Union is because they can go up this right side. Once they get through the corn, right, they can go up this right side through an open field, which CSA has great lines of sight. They're also slightly deflated there, I think. Maybe not. Or Union can go up the center side, but if Union goes up the center, CSA can just shoot into their little area there. And so it's going to be just difficult for Union to push out and actually gain some ground in this map. CSA defense, Union did cut its center with most of their guys. You got JD on the far, Union, or CSA left rather. ABC, 10th Tennessee, CQB towards the center there. And in the actual center of the map, you got 7th Texas, 8th Ohio, and then 2 Corps is up on the point. And now the 59th is leading this Union push. They're just going straight up the middle of the map, maybe trying to catch CSA off guard and defeat them in detail.
Yeah, we'll see. Their first obstacle is going to be 7th Texas and 51st Alabama, along with 8th Ohio. I think they're going to be able to overwhelm them. The rest of the Union's actually going to follow behind 59th. They've switched directions. But looks like Union has kept their flags back in the corn.
Interesting.
All 4 of them.
Wow. I get you going up the middle and not wanting to get pinched and lose the flags, but CSA is not really reacting at this. Both of the flanks of CSA are just kind of sitting and shooting towards 6 LA. 2 Corps guys are going to be the first to actually try to go in there, but by this point, Union's kind of swept. 10th Tennessee, 51st Alabama line.
Take a look.
It might not have been 10th Tennessee, but
JD has not been fooled. They are going straight into the corn.
trying to get those flags, bad idea.
Oh, they're turning around. They're turning around again.
They're running the what is it called? Grand Fitness Pacer test.
Pacer test.
Yeah. It brings back
Fitness
memories.
So Union's going to have a lot of people respawning in the corn, and CSA is going to be looking the other direction.
It's a multi-aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues.
And we're going to stop right there.
Brings back the memories. The fact that I know
Yeah.
that only from the amount of times they played that in gym. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Union's almost completely wiped in the center. They do have 2 CSA flags down, though.
Yes.
And JD is now moving into that center area. Hopefully to get those flags back.
Hopefully. But Union's got to make a move, you would think, out of this corn soon, because CSA is really focused on the center of the map right now, and if CSA eventually wipes Union, which they're going to, CSA is going to be like, okay, where is the Union now? And they're going to realize Union is in the corn. So Union's going to have to move. You get them trying to be organized, right? It makes sense. And it looks like now Union's going to start moving out with most of CSA not looking. FSB out more towards the center of the map. On top, though, you got TKO in the 59th New York heading this way.
Shot for the friendlies. Fire across the way, boys. Fire.
Yeah, looks like this CSA group is going to get surrounded pretty easily.
Confused, actually, they don't know what's going on.
And Union artillery is going to have this area sighted. But CSA artillery should be able to counteract that if they don't get themselves killed from Yukon skirmishers.
Is there Union skirmishers up there?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple. CSA, some AVC guys are trying to shift around the Union right side a little bit here. Decoys sees them. Ticket's actually fairly even, all things considered, so it's, again, a good start for Union so far if they can just kind of keep this up. But it has to be a little demoralizing for CSA after losing that round and also maybe not getting your XP as well. Some 3rd California guys just ran into the CSA line and got both those flags in the center of the field. Or at least one of them. What the heck? Union's shooting down that CSA center group. And now they're charging. 30th Ohio.
Get those flags back.
One CSA flag down in the field right now. CSA, more of them are trying to move into assist. 8th Ohio, JD. Walt from the CQB got the flag for a moment, and then he died.
Yeah, just realize that Corn Brigade has people on both sides.
Yep. Now you got 6LA moving up to assist 8th Ohio, JD, and some 51st Alabama guys. Union's going to need a little help here.
Yeah, and then charging right into the center, Union is still going to be surrounding you.
Union actually now getting a ticket lead. 7th Texas now charging in as well for CSA. CSA has barely strung this together. It's kind of the crazy thing about this whole thing is CSA is not necessarily working. I mean, they're working together. They're eventually getting the point across, but Union's much more blobbed up, and so when CSA goes in independently, even if it's like 15 seconds apart, Union's able to defeat them kind of in detail in a tinier sense. And now CSA isn't engaged, and for some reason, a map that historically has kind of been CSA bias is going Union's way right now, and it's probably just because of poor CSA play. I mean, Union's obviously playing well, but Union now just mass charging center, 12th VA in mass.
Union did have a successful deception in the beginning. CSA is probably going to get all 4 of their flags back. That's what it seems like. Yep.
Wow.
So CSA is going to have the best chance they have for counterattack.
I was not expecting to go around. I was not expecting the round to go like this.
Union's probably going to be sending most of their guys into the forest.
CQB is charging into the Union team for I don't know what reason right now. In the center. That's what's been losing you the whole round. I just remember from last season when Alabama Volunteer Corps was Union. I don't remember who was on CSA. Might have been you guys. I don't know.
I think it was.
But AVC just did all those crazy moves on this map, and they almost took it, but didn't. And I was thinking this would be a similar round, but I mean, Union's kind of had deception, or they had deception in that first push, but Union's taken a lot of ground here, and CSA is now sitting pretty far back. Not as far back as they can go, but I wonder how far Union can actually push forward here before they're out of bounds.
Sprint the line, sprint the line. Fucking ball.
Get your loads in, hold your fire. Put those loads in.
Hold back a little bit.
Now, the area that Union is in might be better for CSA to take their guns up top and fire down on them from there.
They got one gun aimed towards the Union group right now. 2 are aimed till that corn. I don't know if that first shot hit. It looked like it did.
Yeah, knocked down a bunch of people.
Union hits engaged. I'm kind of surprised that CSA is not trying to send guys up to the south side on point. I mean, JD, 8th Ohio, mostly 8th Ohio actually, has some guys flanking shots there. I mean, they're keeping distance, right? So Union can't just charge them right away, but they're also kind of shooting on their side. It's not a bad place to be. And you wonder if is Union just going to hold and shoot this out, or are they going to try to get aggressive? 10th US going forward with 30th Ohio, though. They're trying to get close to the CSA line.
Keep your spacing, Fury. Watch your spacing.
Man.
Load round. Press 5.
Damn. Oh.
30th Ohio is the most forward Union position here.
They
Yeah.
sure are.
They just, I mean, CSA could get ballsy and try to collapse in on 30th here. Again, they're a little far forward from their friendlies. But it's not like CSA can necessarily get a good vision of that. 30th Ohio falling back a little bit. Not a bad idea.
Jesus Christ!
I'm liquid. I'm not a formation. I'm liquid.
Run away!
I think it might be a decent idea for these CSARD guys to start throwing canister down into that forest.
That would not be a bad idea. I mean,
You've got a lot of ammo to work with.
and you're bound to hit something in there. My goodness. CSA is making a thrust forward, though. MSG, 10th Tennessee in front. CQB with. All of CSA's moving in right now.
Not quite all of them together. So
Not together.
They're going to be moving on the northern side, same with AVC
Union,
and 51st Alabama.
Union going in now, countercharging it. And I was going to start saying, right, is Union going to be able to deal enough tickets in a shootout? And lo and behold, CSA charge straight in. Charge is kind of close on the bottom side. CSA zooming out. Ooh, it's actually kind of close. There's groups moving in to reinforce from both sides.
Mhm.
Sorry, man. I don't know
Yeah, I don't think sending the CSA groups to the north really helped out, because now they're just in the open.
Also allowed Union to kind of hold off the most of the CSA team that actually charged at them.
Yeah, they were able to get two CSA flags down.
10th US and some 59th guys getting the CSA flags down in the open field, but they're going to be picked back up in a second. Yeah, that's... Yeah, as you mentioned, 2 CSA flags. Union has their flags up in the...
Yeah, they've got all of them.
It just keeps spawning in. Wow.
CSA, they're out in the open field. Union's got some concealment. It's not a good place for CSA to be.
And they are pushing out right away. 7th Texas kind of leading this. I think they just
Gonna
saw
have
that.
a little bit of help from 8th Ohio in the back, but some of the Union sees them coming.
Yeah, that's... The CSA is just being defeated in detail. It's, wow. And Union's up on tickets. Wow.
It might not be a bad idea for that CSA group to just go to the corn.
I just realized this is a very bad spot to reload.
At least to get some numbers out, you know?
Why
You'll
is...
have more... You'll have Union be kind of encircled a little bit more.
Union...
You don't have to worry about losing people.
Union's running
I
a
don't know if it's-
flag to the
I don't know if
east.
it's inbounds for them, but yeah, they are. What the heck?
I doubt that corn is out of bounds. I mean, I think it's out of bounds for CSA. I would be surprised if it wasn't. You never know. CSA gets all their flags back, though. Never mind. One of them picked it up and just stood in the open field and died.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like they're running it back to their group that spawned at main. Alright.
Yeah. So they're going to be hopping into the corn. And they're going to have that CSA group flanked.
CSA is doing a very spread out charge. Yep, they're going into Union again. Very spread out.
Yep, that other CSA group on top needs to help out at some point.
Lord writes, it's a numbers game most of the time.
Good shots, guys.
CSA from the top. Looks like they're starting to move down now. Yeah, they're going in.
So they're going to go around and try to cut off Union flags. That's good.
Union braced that initial charge pretty well, but that's not terribly surprising.
Flags are running to the south, though, closer to the point.
Oh my goodness, CSA starting to break through that initial Union line. Union flag is kind of caught. It's 1 down, 2 down. 3 down. Wow.
Have to knock the Union down Last bit, we have 30th Ohio coming in from the corn. See how long it takes any of these people to notice.
They
The
should.
flag tries to run, but they're stuck, I think.
Never seen that before.
Get out of here, honky.
Flags escaping.
You got him. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real.
CSA should be able to hold 30th Ohio though at this point. You would think they got a good amount of numbers there, but Union's still up on tickets despite plenty of time on the clock as well. Generally, as an attack, you want to hit the defender down to taking losses at a minimum by the 20-minute mark. So, you know, Union's doing real good on time, and because they've been aggressive, partially due to CSA as well, they can afford to, you know, sit back and shoot it out for a few minutes and wait for those flags to despawn, or maybe just go in again, you know, who knows.
CSA didn't really react to 30th Ohio coming out of the corn, which is interesting. 2 Union flags are down, the other one was able to make it back safely.
And there goes Union to taking losses.
CSA is starting to close the ticket gap, it seems.
Oh, shit. Oh, red.
Yeah, Union has a lot of time to work with.
For that reason, fast forward the video 5 minutes. You will miss absolutely nothing except for those bars on top going down. I'm kidding. You never know. Union can charge.
Skip to this timestamp, which Eagle won't put in the video.
I'll just put a little timeline thing on the bottom, like nothing happened here, nothing happened here.
Or just like another YouTube chapter. For that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You just nothing happened here, nothing happened here.
Yeah, it's just these little segments, like skip this, skip this.
The video retention graph would go crazy. Up and down and up and down.
Most of the Union respawns going straight down the center.
I mean, how close are these? Both flags are well in front of the CSA line right now, so actually Union could probably get them back. Which, oh my goodness, someone just picked it up and instantly died. But Union can definitely get those flags back. Got full body V and Sasha Hartcorn running up, dodging canister shot. Red and Decoys running up center to get that other flag. And Union's going to have all 4 flags. I mean, you'd maybe like CSA to try to hold those to maybe prevent Union from getting those spawns, but time isn't really as much of an issue anymore, I don't think. But, I mean, if you can keep half the Union team's flags down, that means half their team has to spawn at main, and that means they're out of the fight, you know, an individual soldier for 2 or so minutes. And that can really add up when it starts to impact half the Union team. But, alas, CSA's down almost a fourth of a stage, and who is going in the open? Oh, 30th Ohio backed off a little. CSA left. 7 Texas pushing forward here. 51st Alabama and AVC following.
You know, something that I'm just now realizing is that the date on the 42 that I'm looking at says Springfield 1847. So I'm gonna have to report that one.
We thought we were gonna complain about. Yeah. The devs are terrible. This game sucks. 30th Ohio pushing up, getting aggressive here. They're kind of really outnumbered here. Not that they would necessarily know. FSB pushing up to the left of 30th to assist here. Union's still keeping a ticket lead here.
Yeah, actually, Union's going from the forest out into the field.
Not a bad idea.
Really sneak up behind MSG.
Friendly, guys, friendly.
Really good idea from Union here. Really good idea. Union, especially since the kind of middle of the first round, Union's just been outplaying CSA. That was great, because now the whole Union team is, or nearly the whole Union team is up on the top of this map with only like half the CSA team here.
Yeah, CSA is pretty spread out.
Union's not all charging in on that, though. Was that CSA already shooting into there? Yes, it was. All right. And another CSA team kill already shot. Awesome.
Looks like y'all getting dark.
Now Union's going. That one hit Union. Now Union's slowly charging into the CSA group up top. And the rest of the CSA, it was a 6LA starting to move up. A lot of CSA pushing up center side as well. You have some Union there as well.
James!
James, go to your right. Go to your right.
I can't, I'm a flag bearer for this company. I can't, I'm a fucking flag bearer.
He's a loyalist to his company, brave lad. A true
Oh
soldier.
I was about to choose you, you didn't run over here.
They did get it back in the end, though.
3 flags for CSA altogether.
Hell yes.
They're pretty fairly pushed back. Union so far has numbers on them, it looks like. CSA might be able to equalize those in a bit. CSA does have, looks like Tennessee and CQB down in the woods.
They push
that
Union
they
out.
can use.
One company.
59 New York's moving themselves toward the center. I think they're getting ready for a cap, maybe.
That would be... Man.
Or at least getting closer.
Right. They might do it because they did it last round. You rarely ever see teams win by capping on a defender breaking these days. At least it feels like that anyways.
It's probably not as common as it used to be.
I wonder why. Oh, it's probably flag
Or at least
respawn.
at least an end of the round where neither team is at the final stage.
Right.
Open order, spread out.
Open order.
CSA massively shifting over toward the south side of the map, around the point.
Hey, at least they'll be on the point this round.
Yeah, it will be.
The map's a little more made for that. True.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Although the cap point for this map isn't too big. So we will see.
Yeah, CSA's...
All CSA shift in this direction.
You get why CSA wants to play near the point. They don't want Union just running straight up the center, but it seems like CSA's kind of... It almost looks like CSA's baiting the Union to go in the center. They are kind of set up to where they're in circle. And as I say that, the CSA on the northwest side just start moving up towards the center. So CSA is kind of just giving Union the woods here. Which is a little surprising. But we'll see. They're down a fourth stage.
See, I hope CSA has some kind of plan for when the Union takes that forest.
If
I
Union...
have a feeling they don't really.
Union wins this, my comments at the beginning are going to sound so stupid. And Tennessee, they were smart for picking CSA. This is a bias. I mean, every time before this, it's been CSA bias, so... I think that's just props to good Union play and maybe a little poor CSA play as well.
Yeah, all CSA has left the woods. Union is going to have full control of it. And CSA is about to go breaking in a couple minutes.
Within the next 20 minutes, I would hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, half the Union team is moving to the woods, the other half are still up on the field. Maybe they're just trying to spread their guys out a little bit. I mean, the guys on top, 10th US, one of the groups up here anyways, can kind of see CSA through the mini trees and bushes. CSA hit breaking. Man. It's always the hard thing with balancing in this game, because a 100-player match is completely different than a 400-player match. The commanders on each side and how they play the match, and the individual players, how they play. I mean, there's so many factors going into if something's balanced or not. Very difficult to do, and especially difficult to track. Even if they do this company tool thing where they track every War of Rights match played, it's not like... I mean, you have the private events, which there's about 2 to 3, 4-ish on like 4 days of the week, and you have those, right? But outside of that, you only got one active public server, so how much data are you really going to get? And is it even enough? So, you know...
It may not even be for balancing reasons. I think it's mostly just to have some kind of record. That's what's supposed to be the service records. I don't think they've done it yet. Or at least, I don't even think they've gotten the data collection part implemented.
You know, because some of the balance changes they did not make a whole lot of sense. But, I mean, I would assume that when they did the ticket balance changes, they would have announced the server service records or whatever. But, or I guess not. Anyways, Union getting close. I don't know if that's on point or not where 30th is. I don't think so. Got more Union pouring up that way now. FSB, 12th VA starting to inch forward up the center side now, and the Union's trying to get close to this point. Union hit braking. 12th VA's moved up now.
Union group flanking to the west. 59th New York and 9th Corps guy.
Where are they at?
They're gonna be taking themselves all the way to 7 Texas.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, 59th lost like 3/8 of their line there.
3/8 is a very specific.
Well, it wasn't half, but it wasn't a third. It's just in between.
Ah.
Also, it's a more specific number, so it sounds more right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They lost 44% of their line.
44.3426%. Gotta add the
Alright.
decimals on there.
Stop showing off.
Shootout's still going good for Union. It's still about a fourth of a morale stage difference right now. And, I mean, CSA's in a rough spot. They got to change something out. So far, the shootout hasn't worked in their favor at all. But I don't know if charging in would work, but it's not like they've really ever charged in as a whole team. They got to maybe see if the shootout works for another minute or two, and if not, then they got to do something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're in a rough spot at this point.
Yeah. Well, they could try. CSA is just to have everyone unfix bayonets for a little bit.
A little less sway.
Yeah. Some bear shots, but like half of CSA already has their bayonets off, it looks like. At least some people do.
Is he standing
5
still?
seconds. Oh, Union's, I think it's about to go in. Maybe? If I heard that right?
Oh, I think we hit him. Oh, no, never mind. Damn it.
Let's see. 12th VA is shifting towards the center. 59th is moving. They're flipping. Maybe they just did a little flip.
Waist tight from here, waist tight.
Oh, 12th VA is
Thing
now
is,
pushing up.
Any move that CSA makes to try and hit the Union is going to cost them tickets, even if it works out in the end.
They just got to get a ticket lead or something at this point. I don't know. 12th VA is going in on their own.
Good brace defense.
Union's got plenty. Tickets actually look to be evening out, actually. A little bit.
Brace, boys. Hold here.
12th VA's charge is held. It kind of stopped. JD is now shifting over with 10th Tennessee to secure this side. Union should not be sending groups forward individually. You have a ticket lead, and you played a great round. You don't want to throw away tickets like that and make the tickets even. Which, maybe the shootout's not working for CSA. They are kind of having to back off the point, though, due to that.
What is happening here? I swear. What is this roast? I swear. Patio's been possessed.
But plenty of time left on the clock. That's not really much of an issue at this point. You do have some CSA guys engaging with Union Arty here. It's 5th VA. Oh, rip the 5th VA officer. Man. 3 minutes, CSA's evened out the tickets completely. Could be because they fell back or just that mini 12th VA push. It's probably a mix of both.
We'll have to see.
Time will tell. What the heck? Oh my goodness, there's a dead CSA guy in the ground. His right hand, his wrist is 90 degrees, so his hand's like pointing up in the air like a high five. His left hand's in the thumbs up position. I'll send this to you. CSA is completely off point. Now, if Union wants to try to bait the CSA to push back up to the point, they just need to send a couple guys up and start pre-capping that point. And it should bait CSA to get closer to the point and make sure they cap it. Now, how many's going to actually go for it, who knows, but it might be worth a shot to get CSA closer.
Oh,
Very funny.
that's pretty good. One really weird thing to see is when he has some like weapons, especially swords, on the ground, and the ground's like kind of lumpy, for the back of a better word.
Lumpy.
But like the model of the weapon is in the ground, but we can still see the entire weapon.
I see.
Yeah.
So, let's see. It looks like Union's gotten a slight ticket lead again. Slight. I mean, maybe they're just not sending guys up to pre-cap just so they avoid any skirmishing and out-of-line deaths unnecessarily. Trusting that the ticket lead that they may or may not have. It looks like they do have one, though. It's good. It's probably at this point, Union, if they're ahead on tickets, if they force CSA into last stand, they're probably just going to keep shooting it out until they hit final push, and then either keep shooting it out or just charge in and try to take the point. I would guess they would just try to keep it in a shootout, because once CSA hits last stand, at that point they can't respawn, and Union can just slowly dwindle them away. Union, if they hit their last stage, it's final push. It'll lower the black timer to about 3 to 4 minutes left, and Union will still have infinite spawns at that point. So limited time, infinite spawns, CSA, no more respawns. Unless if you were dead when last stand was hit, then you'll respawn at main, so that CSA has one full wave.
Yeah.
Union's center is moving a little bit here. Right. Never mind, they're just running around. A little too excited there. Gotta get those jitters out before you charge in here. CSA is gonna hit last stand first. They should. It's gonna happen within the next minute.
There's like 4 of them right now.
And at this point, if you're CSA, right, as mentioned, right, assuming Union forces CSA down to their last stage first, Union's just going to keep this shootout going. CSA has to limit the Union time to put more stress on them, but also you just want to limit that time, right? So CSA, they might need to get a little aggressive here, I think, because you don't just want to slowly go down to the shootout. But I will say both sides are pretty close in tickets, so CSA might be like, we can shoot them down the final push and not take too many losses. Again, it's a decision to make. And it almost looks like Union's going to drop any second now as well.
Yeah.
So maybe don't charge.
Now, 30th Ohio. They've been able to flank around the northeast of CSA.
There you go, last stand. Union just needs to stay in formation, just keep shooting down the CSA. At this point, the last few CSA guys that were dead respawned at main, which wasn't really a whole lot. And 30th Ohio is pushing... Okay, they're getting closer. I thought they were charging. Scared me. Oh, they're just getting closer. Meanwhile, Union right is charging in. 12th VA is going first. It just looks like 12th VA. Union hits final push. Clack down to 403. CSA just needs more bodies on point when the clock hits 0, but 4 minutes is a lot of time. CSA has to get Union flags, but that's not going to happen. Union now kind of just charging in from all sides,
Yeah.
as long as Union gets flags.
CSA is really not prepared to receive these charges.
And that's going to be our round. I mean, CSA is going to contest this a little more, but Union is going to get a 2-0 today. A very impressive 2-0 at that, all things considered. Corded, you got any thoughts as this charge kind of dwindles out here and Union gets the 2-0?
Union did a great job, especially in the very beginning with that deceptive move. Not much else to really say. CSA, they had some missteps. A lot of not going in with their friendlies, or at least in the same positions in charges, and that lost them a lot of tickets, I think.
Wow. Yeah, in the middle of the first round, Union, something clicked in the 5-9 NY, and they cooked at the end of the first round and this entire round as well. Really well done. They just seem to completely outplay the CSA side, and this map has been generally CSA biased, so it's very surprising to kind of see this go down as it is. But anyways, good 2 rounds. Congrats to 59th. We are live here with the start of Season 3, and it starts off with a bang. That's huge. You only get 4 leading rounds, so only 2 matches. So 59th and 10th Tennessee, they have one more day to lead in the future, but good start for 59th. Anyways, I will show you the standings as it is now in a moment, and then do the little outro sequence there. Again, good 2 rounds, really well played by Union side, and we'll see you in a moment for the standings. And here is our current standing. So 59th New York, they got 8 points. They have a huge now lead in their division, and everyone else getting the assisting points and also getting the additional bonus point for going 2-0 tonight. That's why they have 5 points. So with that all being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like. Oh, I forgot. The losing team gets additional points. Let me fix the scores quickly. All right, so here is the actual correct scores. Sorry, I forgot that the assisting losing teams do get a point. So they get 2 points total because they lost 2 rounds. So here is your standings as they are. With that all being said, apologies for the first error. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord and Clips channel below. So if you like the daily YouTube shorts, you can check us out on Battleline Clips or just hit the link in the description. But anyways, I appreciate you all. Could not do this without you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.